And joining the conversation tonight, we have Dave Levinthal. He is the senior political reporter and federal politics editor at Center for Public Integrity. Thanks so much for joining us, Dave. Biden has said before that he wanted to be the last one in, but did waiting so long cost him in terms of losing out on campaign dollars?
It may cost him a little bit, and it's important to note that Joe Biden has never been a fundraising juggernaut. He's run for president on two other occasions, in 1988 and 2008. And both times he flamed out. He flamed out pretty early, but that was before Joe Biden was vice president of the United States for 8 years under Barack Obama. He has something that is absolutely golden, which is name recognition and name recognition of a universal sort. So as a result, Joe Biden's entering this race at the top of the polls because everyone knows who Joe Biden is. Joe Biden's entering this race with the ability to reach out to just about anyone and be competitive, even in this unbelievably crowded Democratic field with more than 20 candidates running right now.
Now, it looks like Biden is likely to rely on big donors here, while his opponents are more reliant on online grassroots campaigns. So is Biden, do you think, missing out if he relies on old school fundraising tactics?
So small dollar donors, grassroots donors, that's really the all the rage for many of the Democratic candidates who want to differentiate themselves from sort of the tried and true standard party torchbearers who had oftentimes very close relationships with big dollar fundraisers, lobbyists, corporate interests. That's not en vogue right now for many of the Democrats. So Joe Biden, that's not really his strong suit, is appealing to those types necessarily from a fundraising standpoint. What Joe Biden does have, though, is a long, long history that he can run on, a record that he can run on of being, quote unquote, middle class Joe, appealing to people who are union workers, who are in the middle class, who don't have a whole lot going. And historically, Joe Biden himself has been one of the, if you can call it poorest members of the U.S. Senate when he was in the Senate. And even when he was vice president of the United States, not somebody who is of great wealth. He's sold some books and he's gone on tours and he's made a little cash late in life. Joe Biden is 76, but Joe Biden, he's not been somebody who's been rich most of his life. And that's appealing to a lot of Democrats.
So the question is, does he appeal to the Democrats of this new generation, to neo-Democrats, for lack of a better term? Does he have a chance when it comes to garnering support from people who might be inclined to support somebody like Mayor Pete?
Sure, and that's really going to be, one of the great storylines going forward of this 2020 election is not just the diversity that we have in terms of race and gender, but also of age. We have on one end of the spectrum, Bernie Sanders, 77 years old, Joe Biden, 76 years old. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have a handful of millennials here, including Mayor Pete Buttigieg, but also Tulsi Gabbard. You're ranging from the mid to late 30s to the mid to late 70s here. So that's something, too, that Joe Biden is really going to have to overcome is the idea that he is played out, that his time has come and his time has gone, and it's time now for a new type of Democratic generation to take hold of power here.
Has Biden given the 19 other hopefuls that are already in the race too long to get their message out there and to doubt his ability?
Not necessarily. You got to remember that most Americans are not going to be paying acute attention to this race for a while yet. We haven't had an opportunity to get all the candidates together on a debate stage, and what a crowded debate stage that's going to be. Sure, we've had some town halls. They've had their launch parties and they've had their launch speeches, but really it's going to be this summer, this fall, before people begin to pay more attention. And of course, we're still many, many, many months away before the first primaries and caucuses, these initial contests where the candidates are going to have to go toe-to-toe against each other and actually have people vote on them. So they've got a lot of time yet. And this has also been an election that, or a campaign for an election that has started incredibly early with so many people, a record number of people getting in at a very early stage. So Joe Biden or anyone else who gets in still has a good amount of time here to play catch up.
All right, Dave Levinthal, we thank you for your time.